Hi, in the last video we covered cardio versus strength training and what's the best approach to weight loss. If you haven't watched the video, do check it out. The link is in the description below. Coming to today's topic, calorie counting. As soon as these words are mentioned, three basic questions pop into our minds. How many calories does my body naturally burn in a day? How do I calorie count? And how many calories do I eat or burn in a day to lose weight? For this purpose, we're going to split this video into three parts, each explaining each of the questions that I just mentioned. So, to know how many calories your body naturally burns in a day, we need to first understand how they are getting burned. Every time your body has to utilize energy, calories are being burned. The first way is digestion. So this accounts to roughly 5 to 10% of your total calorie burn in a day. Now when you consume food, your body has to break it down, absorb it, metabolize it, eliminate it. These processes use energy, and that's where calorie burn happens. A fun fact is, you know how protein is very high because it helps build lean muscle mass and keeps you fuller for a longer period of time with fewer calories. Protein also uses a lot of calories in its metabolism. So your body actually burns more calories just to metabolize the protein that you just consumed. Second being your physical activity during the day. Now this could be either non-exercise activity thermogenesis, which actually means simple activities that you do in a day, like boarding a bus or washing utensils. So the more active that you are, the more calories that you burn. So it's preferred that you take the stairs instead of the elevator and all of that. That even if you're very active still doesn't go beyond 10% of your total calorie burn. Total calorie burn. Now, exercise. Now this is where you can really expend your energy and increase the calorie count. Exercise, depending upon how intensely performed, can go up to 40% of your total calorie burn of the day. This also yet remains to be in those 1-2 hours that you are at your fitness center or at the gym. But the rest of the hours, the real major player that comes into the equation is your RMR. RMR or BMR are used interchangeably, RMR being your resting metabolic rate and BMR being your basal metabolic rate. The only difference between the two is that BMR uses 12 hours of fasted conditions, 8 hours of solid sleep just before the testing, and it is in a thermally controlled room. That means the temperature has to be maintained. RMR does not require these conditions, so it is more practical, although BMR is more accurate. Now, what do these terms very simply mean? How many calories does your body burn in a state of rest in 24 hours is what this figure will give you. How do you calculate your RMR or your BMR? Theoretically, there are different formulae to calculate RMR or your BMR, both of which for men and women, which are different, are in the description below. But your RMR theoretical calculated formula will be slightly higher than your BMR. Because when your RMR is calculated, you have not just woken up and your body is not just awakened from a state of rest. So you are more active, and that is why that theoretical consideration is taken in a practical way. Now, let's try to calculate the RMR with an example. For instance, we are calculating the RMR of a woman who's weighing say 65 kgs. That in pounds comes to 143 pounds. Before I move ahead with this formula, bear in mind that you have to pay very close attention to the system that is being used in the formula. It could be an imperial system or it could be a metric system. So the units that are being used have to be very paid attention to. Now, this 65 kg woman and who's weighing 143 pounds, multiply the 143 by 4.35 and keep the figure aside. Multiply 4.7 by her height in inches. So say she's 6'4", so in inches that comes to 64. So multiply 4.7 by 65 and leave that figure aside. Now her age. Multiply 4.7 by her age. Say she's 20 years old and leave this figure aside. Add the height and the weight factors and subtract the age factor from this equation. Because as you age, your RMR decreases. and at 655, which is a constant which is used in the derivation of the formula. Your result is 1483, which is the woman's BMR for the day. Now that is the BMR, so that is for rest. But you are absolutely, definitely not at rest for a 24-hour period, right? That's where activity metabolic rate comes into equation, where this thing takes into consideration how active you are during a day. In this, we split your physical activity into 5 categories, one being sedentary, where there is bare minimum movement during the day, one being lightly active, for somebody who works out twice or thrice a week, one being moderately active for somebody who's working out 5 to 6 times a week, very active 5 to 6 times a week with a very physically demanding job, and extra active for those pro athletes or the weight bodybuilders or the weightlifters who put in more than 7 hours of exercise in a day. Each of these have an activity coefficient, right? So suppose this woman whose BMR we just calculated is somebody who works out for 2 to 3 times a week. So her activity coefficient is 1.325. Let's multiply her activity coefficient by her BMR, which gives us 239 as her calorie burn during the day. Now this is her AMR. To know how many calories she's totally burned in the day with her exercise, we simply add this AMR to how many calories that she has burned in her workout session. So say for instance she's run on the treadmill for 30 minutes and her treadmill shown a count of 250. So we add 250 to her AMR, that is 2039 added to 250, which gives us 2289 as her final calorie output during the day. Now, for creating a deficit to lose weight by either exercising more or eating fewer calories, we needed this value which we have gotten. In the next video, we will be talking about how to count calories, because in order to create a deficit, we need to know exactly how to know how many calories are we getting from what we are eating. So tomorrow will be coming up a video which explains how to count calories. So be sure to watch it. Do like, comment, subscribe and share. And yes, do comment if you feel there is anything that needs to re-explain, or if you have any suggestions about what can be improved in your video. Your feedback would be really appreciated. I'll see you then.